I would rather deploy than work a 9 to 5. And I am not joking when I say that. People call it extreme, dramatic, or unhinged, but that is because they have never lived both lives. They talk about deployment like it is some nightmare and the 9 to 5 like it is salvation. But if you have ever lived in both worlds, you know exactly why I say what I say. Deployment is hard, painful, uncomfortable, dangerous, unpredictable, and exhausting, but it is real. It has purpose. It has meaning. It has structure. It has clarity. The 9 to 5 is the opposite. It is slow spiritual death disguised as stability. It steals your spark and hands you a paycheck that gets eaten alive before you even touch it. And the crazy part is that civilians genuinely believe they are the ones who are safe. Safe from what? Safe from danger or safe from actually living? That is the misconception that makes the whole thing laughable. People love to say the 9 to 5 is the smarter path. They talk about benefits, PTO, coffee machines, air conditioning, and normal life like it is some grand prize. Meanwhile, they have never once stopped to ask themselves if they feel alive in any of it. They confuse safety with sedation. They confuse predictability with meaning. They confuse routine with purpose. That is why I say I would rather deploy. Not because I love chaos, not because I am addicted to danger, not because I am some adrenaline junkie who misses explosions. It is because deployment gives you what civilian life forgot: a mission, a reason to wake up, a reason to push through the pain, a reason to sweat, a reason to think, a reason to move with intention. When you deploy, you know exactly why you are there. You know what you sign up for. You know what your job is, what your team is, what the stakes are, and what your purpose is. You wake up with clarity. You move through your day with direction. You go to sleep with a sense of contribution. There is structure. There is order. There is hierarchy. There is unity. There is teamwork. There is accountability. There is a cause bigger than you. And even when it is brutal, even when it breaks your body, even when it drains your energy, you still feel alive because your effort means something. Every decision matters. Every step means something. Every action ties into a mission that exists beyond you. Now, compare that to the 9 to 5. Compare that to sitting in traffic every morning behind people who look half dead. Compare that to shuffling into a building full of fluorescent lights, fake smiles, and passive-aggressive email warriors. Compare that to answering messages that mean nothing, sitting in meetings that accomplish nothing, and spending hours doing tasks that could be deleted and nobody will notice. You wake up already tired. You work all day feeling nothing. You go home drained and still broke. You wake up again and repeat it for decades, calling it a career. One world tests your body, the other drains your soul. One world puts your life at risk, the other puts your purpose at risk. One is physically dangerous, the other is spiritually lethal. People always say, at least you are safe at a 9 to 5. Safe from what? Safe from bullets or safe from purpose? Because most 9 to 5s do not kill you physically. They kill your spark. They take your ambition, your passion, your hunger, and replace them with a routine that numbs you into thinking you are living when you are actually just existing. You wake up, rush to work, sit in traffic, stare at screens, answer emails, eat lunch at your desk, fight to stay awake at meetings, scroll through your phone during bathroom breaks, and call it stability. But it is not stability. It is sedation. It is a slow drip of comfort that lulls your spirit to sleep. Let me tell you what deployment gives you that the civilian world never will. Deployment gives you real emotion, adrenaline, fear, pride, pressure, unity, exhaustion, fulfillment. That feeling of knowing you are needed, trusted, and relied upon. That feeling of knowing your team has your back. That feeling of knowing the mission cannot happen without you doing your part. You can feel your effort in your bones. You can feel your importance. You can feel your purpose. In the 9 to 5, everything inside you slowly fall asleep. You do not feel danger, but you also do not feel alive. You do not feel risk, but you also do not feel meaning. You are comfortable, but you are empty. Let me paint you a picture. Deployment morning. It is early. The sun is barely up. You are half awake, throwing on your gear. Your body is tired, but your mind is alert. Everyone in that room knows the stakes. You move as one. No wasted motion. No fake small talk. No empty conversation. Just clarity, focus, brotherhood, responsibility, and mission. You step outside into a world where every decision matters. You communicate without talking. You understand each other. You feel each other's presence. You respect each other because you share the same risk. You return at night, exhausted but fulfilled. You know you earned your pay. You know you contributed. You know you did something real. Now picture a 9 to 5 morning. Your alarm goes off and you already hate your day. You drag yourself out of bed. You sit in traffic behind people who look like they have not smiled in years. You walk into a building with fake smiles and false positivity. You sit in front of a screen answering emails that could have been avoided if someone cared enough to communicate clearly. You sit in meetings about nothing. You watch people argue about fonts, formats, deadlines, and pointless projects. You count the minutes until you can go home. You leave tired, irritated, mentally drained, and somehow still broke. You did not risk your life, but you also did not leave it. That is the real scam. Now, let's talk about money because people love pretending the 9 to 5 is a financially superior lifestyle. That is one of the biggest misconceptions and also one of the reasons this message goes viral. Because the truth is simple. Deployment pays you better. Deployment pays you smarter. Deployment pays you faster. Deployment pays you in ways civilians never talk about. When you deploy, you get paid around $200 tax-free a day. Tax-free. You get housing covered, food covered, healthcare covered, zero expenses, hazard pay, per diem, increased allowance. You can come home with 10, 20, or even 30 grand saved if you do it right. You can stack more cash in one deployment that most civilians save in 3 years. Now, compare that to the 9 to 5. You pay taxes, you pay rent, you pay insurance, you pay for food, you pay for gas, you pay for everything. And then inflation takes even more. You work harder and earn less. You get raises that are too small to matter. You feel safe, but you are not secure. You feel stable, but your bank account does not agree. Tell me again how the 9 to 5 is financially smarter. It is not even close. People say at least in the 9 to 5, you have freedom. What freedom? You do not pick your hours. You do not pick your pay. You do not pick your workload. You cannot walk out when you are fed up. You cannot disappear when you are stressed. You cannot choose your boss or your coworker. You are still owned, just by a different system. The US military at least admits it. The civilian world hides it. They rebrand control as choice. They say you are free because you can quit. Quit to what? Another job that drains you in the same way? That is not freedom. That is rotation. People think veterans miss war. They do not. Veterans miss purpose. They miss unity. They miss clarity. They miss the mission. The 9 to 5 gives you none of that. It gives you task instead of purpose. It gives you routine instead of growth. It gives you comfort instead of meaning. And the sad part is that people swallow it whole. They settle for it. They call it normal. In deployment, you miss home every day, but you never question who you are. You know your role. You know your value. You know your work matters. In civilian life, you have everything you thought you wanted and somehow feel empty. You are not in danger anymore, but you are bored to death. And boredom is its own kind of killer. Both deployment and civilian life take something from you. Let's be honest. One takes your comfort. The other takes your spirit. One tests your body. The other drains your soul. One makes you stronger. The other makes you numb. You have to decide which pain you can live with. I would rather sweat for meaning than sit for money. I would rather live in pressure than die in comfort. I would rather feel alive in dirt than empty in a cubicle. That is why I say I will rather deploy, because deployment teaches you something the civilian world forgot. Hardship builds happiness. Pressure builds pride. Risk builds respect. Purpose builds people. And human beings were built for missions, not tasks. Built for courage, not comfort. Built for clarity, not confusion. That is why veterans look lost when they return home. It is not because they want war. It is because they cannot find a mission that matches the weight of the one they left behind. So yes, I would rather deploy than work a 9 to 5, because at least when I deploy, I get paid. That's free income. I get fed. I get housing. I have a mission. I have unity. I have purpose. And I know my time matters. The 9 to 5 gives you traffic, taxes, boredom, confusion, fake smiles, depression, and a countdown to Friday. One word is dangerous. The other is soul killing. One wakes you up. The other numbs you slowly. One builds you. The other drains you. One makes you feel alive. The other makes you forget what living feels like. I can recover from exhaustion. I can recover from fear, but I cannot recover from a life that means nothing. That is why I would rather deploy, because I would rather live with danger than die with comfort. At least one of those paths teaches you how to feel alive. If this video helped you, please press the thumb up, share this video with everyone that you know. Watch this video next that you think that you will like. Peace. I'm gone.